Welcome back everyone to Nikki's Handmade World, where I show you how to make all types of things with your hands. Now, whether it be for hobbies or you want to start a business like I did, I got you covered. So make sure you subscribe and become a handmade warrior. Now, today's video, I'm actually going to show you how your girl made awesome masks like these. Check it out. I know. Awesome, right? Yeah, awesome. Now these particular ones have behind the head straps. Like a lot of people in healthcare professions actually prefer the behind the head sort of thing, but then some prefer the ear loops, but then some prefer ties. I make my masks so that they're versatile, so the way that I make them, they can be switched out for any of those three choices. So it's not actually cemented onto the mask. You have freedom with my mask, so make sure you check out my other video and I show you firsthand how I make them. And we're going to be making tons more, but we're also going to be making jewelry, bags, custom t-shirts, the works. Your girl got you covered. So make sure you subscribe because I'm your new BFF. So get used to it and let's get to it.
Alright guys, so what you're looking at now is actually called Silhouette. This is the software that comes along with the Cameo Studio that is part of the Silhouette vinyl cutter and craft cutter, better known as a craft cutter. And what I'm doing is actually just showing you a little bit of the software. As you can see, you have the blank canvas kind of going on there. And I'm actually just kind of going around. I won't give you a specific deep dive detail into how to use the Cameo Silhouette software. I'll save that for another tutorial. But as you can see here, we're making the Nikki's Handmade World mask. So what I'm doing is I've already typed up the words. As you can see, I went to the design tab up top and you see that I've already typed it up in the impact font. And what I'm doing is just putting a box around it, and I'm actually clicking the one thing you just saw there is called a weld mechanism that allows the letters to be separated. So it makes it for easier cutting, as makes them kind of separate letters, and so it's easier to come out on the end when it's time to weed it. And weeding just means that you are separating the words that you want from the base paper, from the heat transfer vinyl that we're using. We're actually using like a holographic glitter vinyl. So what I'm doing is actually just putting in the settings that I need for this particular one. It's going to be 5, which is going to be the blade number, and then the pressure is going to be about 28. The speed is going to be about 5, and it's going to be 2 passes over the words, just to make sure that it will go through and weed and cut my actual paper with no problems. So I set that all up. I actually flip the image so it can cut correctly. Now you see my Cameo 4. This is actually the latest model, and I have it in pink because why not? And so this is the black mask that we're actually going to put the new logo, Nikki's Handmade World, on in the gold sort of holographic film. So as you can see, we just have a blank canvas of a mask. Make sure you check out how I made this mask with the previous video that showed you actually my technique, but we'll be making plenty more videos on how to make masks. So this is just, I'm showing you the other options that you have, which is the glitter in gold, but this particular one that you see here is the silver, not the glitter, but you know, still very shiny, very beautiful, which also some customers prefer. And it looks really good on t-shirts as well. We'll definitely do a tutorial on how to do this to t-shirts as well. So here is the one that we're going to be actually using, which is such a beautiful, beautiful vinyl. That's heat transfer vinyl that we are using to put on the mask. So that is the back of it there. Now, as I said before, we're not going to go into too much detail on watching the Cameo cut. I'll save that for another video. So I'm just getting everything ready and lined up for the Cameo, and that is my beautiful Cameo there. Opening it up, showing you the mechanisms inside. That is the blade. It's the auto blade. There are different blades you can use, but I have the auto blade. It just works better for me for what I'm doing with the heat transfer vinyl. And I just love the versatility of the auto blade. So I'm just taking off my protective covering from the mat. And of course it has a little sticky back to it. I also have some extras actually made by Cricut, which is the standard grip, and you see it there. And Cricut is a very popular alternative to Cameo Silhouette. I just prefer the Cameo, but either one will work great. There's plenty of tutorials on how to use the Cricut and the Cameo, so it's pretty much up to you. I just saw the functionality of the Cameo and fell in love with it, and so I purchased mine. The link for this Cameo will be in the description below. So I'm just lining up everything, getting it ready to go, and making sure that it is even. Actually, there is numbers on the mat, so it helps you kind of align everything up. You want to make sure that it's aligned when you are cutting, because how you line it up in the software is how it's going to cut. So you have to make sure that it's aligned. Now I'm just putting it this way so you can see the shiny side, but when you are cutting, especially heat transfer vinyl, you actually have to cut it shiny side down. But I'm showing you right here how to align it with the shiny side up. But eventually I'll have to go ahead and turn it over. So I'm just showing you a little bit of how to line it up on the mat, which I'm doing there. But then, of course, flipping it over so we can start to cut. So the Cameo, I really love it. Let me just get the focus going there. And as we did again, now this is the proper way to kind of just line it up. As you can see, I'm lining it right up to the measuring line right at the top. Yep, awesome stuff. Yep, nice and aligned. And you can use a kind of squeegee device to get it down, but I just, for now, I'm just gonna use my hand to make sure that it's all the way stuck to the mat, and like so. So I'm lining everything up. There is a mark there that lets you know if you're lined up or not. So just getting everything lined up, and it is going to cut from the information from the software. So now you see that I have actually cut it. So that is the remnants of what I cut. If you want to see it actually cut, we can do a separate tutorial for that. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and show the finished product. I did do some weeding, which means you just remove the parts that you do not want for the heat transfer. And that is the part that I didn't need, so I weeded it or removed it with my weeding tool, which you see in my hand actually. Now that thing is really sharp, so you really got to be careful when you're using it. I'm just going over the final product to see if I missed anything, because it's the words are kind of detailed. You can just have a teeny small amount just kind of lingering in there. There you go, I found one. So it was super small, but this tool allows you to get into the smallest of places and kind of lift it up and discard of the plate of the vinyl that you don't need. So that's what I did, and there we go. So it looks good. We do the final look, and look at that. You flip it over, it looks awesome. Very, very nice. I love the way it shines. I love the way that it sparkles. It looks so amazing when you actually put it on a mask. I mean, this thing catches attention in a good way. Every time I wear it, or if I wear this, this type of material, it is just amazing. So I actually added some bling to that. We're going to have a separate tutorial on blinging out a mask, and I'm telling you, everybody loves this look. So there it is. That is the finished product. Now make sure you subscribe, because part 2 of when I actually put this on a mask and bling it out is coming up next. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.